Good morning. Welcome to my Minecraft ecosystem. This is kind of like a museum exhibit thing that I made, and it's going to demonstrate a food web for Flat Plains ecosystem. So this is where you buy your tickets, and that's my dad in the back. Hi, Dad. And so let's get started. Go this way. Okay, so to start any ecosystem, you always need the sun and some water. I cannot think of an ecosystem, I don't think one exists, where it doesn't have sun or water. So those are always a necessity, and those are both an abiotic organism. So then we have producers, which are like plants and grass, and producers always use the abiotic factors to make their own food and produce their own food. That's why they're called producers. Then to the right, we have primary consumers, which eat producers. So my example for a primary consumer would be a fish. Then we have our secondary consumers, which are pigs, cows, bears, other things like that. And they eat our primary consumers. Then at the very end, we have tertiary consumers, which is like top of the food chain. It eats everything else. So tertiary consumers eat secondary, primary, and producers and uses both of our abiotic factors. Then in a fantasy world, there would be dragons, and dragons are, of course, above humans. So there we have it. Now I'm going to give an example of what would happen if one of our abiotic factors of an ecosystem just was gone all of a sudden. So we're going to use water as an example. So what would happen if there was a huge drought in an area? So first, all of our producers wouldn't have enough water, so they would wilt and die because they can't function without water. They can't make their own food without water. Then our primary consumers would have no food to eat, so they would also die. And same would happen for our secondary consumers, no food, so they would die. And then same with our tertiary consumers. Sorry about that. So there would be no food left in the ecosystem without any water because everything biotic, meaning living, needs water to survive. But also the same would happen if there was a huge flood. If there was a flood, then all of our producers would overpopulate because they would just be like, oh my gosh, look at all this water that we can eat. And then the primary consumers would overpopulate because there's more food for them to eat. Same would happen with our secondary consumers and our tertiary until the ecosystem's carrying capacity was just like too much and it couldn't handle any more organisms in its ecosystem. So now we're going to take a look at the actual ecosystem and not just this exhibit that I made. So here is the Flat Plains ecosystem with all the grass, and the sun is somewhere. There's the sun. And all the animals just doing their own thing and living their life. So there you have it. There is my Minecraft ecosystem. Thank you for watching.